Well then guys, welcome back to the channel. A very quick video. I'm just going to show you a stick that has basically snapped while I've been straightening it, and I can show you possibly why it snapped or fractured, and explain a little bit, like I say, if you're starting out in the field of stick making and you're looking to move to that next step where you straighten your sticks or even go to put curves in, just to demonstrate that wood is flexible but to a point. And I've had a failure, but it's an interesting failure because it's not a very clean snap. You can actually see what has gone wrong. Now I've got three there which I've straightened, and I'm quite happy with how I've straightened those. They're quite long. They're pretty much staff length at the minute, but I'm about to load that up. But that's what I'm pretty much aiming to get to, the finish point, if not a little bit better on some of them. But I haven't pushed them too far because, quite simply, it's a little bit thicker in diameter than a normal cane size of stick. This is pretty much what I make my hiking sticks, to these kind of dimensions. But I've got to load this up and we'll have a look at one that's just failed. Now it is quite busy here. I'm straightening today and I'm going to be crafting tomorrow, and as per normal with my life, it fits around what Jamie or the kids need or have to happen. But yeah, I'm straightening today, crafting tomorrow. I've just wrapped a load which have gone off to the couriers. I think three sticks we wrapped and they're off to the couriers. And I've got literally virtually no stock on selling platforms at all. I've got to remedy that. I haven't been able to keep up. We've just taken a load more orders, and just a moment ago before doing this, we had another inquiry about doing a pheasant with somebody's name on a stick, bark stick. So it's been pretty busy, so I'm struggling to keep up at the minute. But in any case, so that's my issue. I'll let you have a look at this stick in a moment. Right, I've got my steamer there as per normal, out the way of the weather, and I'm cutting, and I don't like making sawdust and a mess in here, but I've got to. The weather's so poor, I have to do it today. That's my pre-cut, which will go into the steamer in a minute. I do actually have 5 there, which I'm going to clean, put lanyards, and start cleaning the tips. I'm going to photograph those, and those there are going to be for myself to go on selling platforms. Like I said, I've literally got nothing to offer anybody pretty much on selling platforms at the minute. Now I'll bring you into here. I do have some I've just straightened so far today. I've got, I think it's 12 pieces there, but I'm going to keep going straightening till I lose light, so I've got a stockpile to work from. But yeah, some nice pieces there. I've got 12 pieces there, various sizes. So yeah, let's keep straightening. So out of those 12 pieces, I've got one failure. And it's an interesting failure because this here is an extremely nice piece of wood. So I was a little bit gutted when it failed on me. Right, I want to get those in cooking off, and then we'll have a look at this one here that snapped. Right, I'm loading the chamber, but I'm loading the heavy end in first, and I'm trying to stuff 4 pieces in. It might not work, but I'm giving it a go. And obviously I don't want to burn myself with the steam because it is coming out quite hot naturally. Right, I've got 4 pieces in there. Right, that's in cooking off now. I've had to wrap the outside the chamber in some chicken feed bags, quite simply because of the weather. A lot of the steam is being condensed back to water or vapour because it's cooling off as it touches the outside of the chamber. So that's giving it a layer of insulation, and it does make a fair bit of difference for me. It increases the, I would say, efficiency probably about 35%, because or 40%, because without them, when the rain lands on the tube, obviously it's cooling the tube, and any steam inside that chamber is being cooled as it touches the outside plastic walls, which means it condenses pretty quick back to water or hot water. So yeah, I've had to do that today. It's not a very good day to be straightening with my setup. Right, this is the stick that actually snapped. Now if you look very carefully, you can see all the individual components or the makeup of the wood itself. You can see all the different parts of that internal structure. I'm gutted because you can see I pretty much had straightened this stick to where I wanted it. And to be honest with you, it's like I always say, I pushed this stick too far. It was 95% as straight as it needed to be. It would have been perfectly adequate for me to make a really nice stick from it. I've pushed it too far, and this is the end result. And there you go, you can see all the internal structure there. If I grab this and compare it, we can have a little look. So that's a sawn cross-section piece of a stick. You can see the growth rings, and you can pretty much make out all the makeup parts of the actual stick. But what's interesting about the snapped one, you can see it in more detail. So look in here, this cylindrical piece of wood here is actually the pith. This next piece here, where you can see it snapped, that's the heartwood, the same as that there. And you can see how that bit would have mirrored and gone over the pith there. And that's the heartwood there. And this here channel here, which that there would have sat inside there, is the sapwood. You can then go on to the Cambrian further back out through that, and then obviously the bark. But you can see the complete makeup there. But you can see the fail where it snapped is this part here. All this was still pliable enough to bend. It failed there. I'll explain why. So here's a stick as it snapped. If we put it together, which is pretty easy really, because even though it wasn't a clean break, because where it snapped, it fits together extremely nicely. So there you go, you can see it there. And as you can see, I just straightened it to a point. I think you could agree most people would probably be happy with it. I just pushed it too far. But there you go, that's a stick in one piece. You can see it hasn't broken or snapped on that end. It snapped there. And quite simply, the internal part of this wood was still at a temperature from the steamer to allow it to move and bend. The fibres were elasticated. Because I was messing about too long out here in these conditions, the outer bits, the sapwood and the bark and the Cambrian, was beginning to get cooler. So as I was bending, it wasn't as flexible, and that's where the fail started. So this one here, when I was bending it over, which I was trying to take out a bend, you can see it snapped there, and it would have snapped like this. Hang on, let's get it back together. There. I'm pushing it together to try and give the best simulation. That was the pressure point which gave way. When it gave way, it went down like that and brought this piece up, leaving the fail there, and its splinter there. That was the pressure point where I was pushing my pressure. Like I say, all that there hasn't shattered or snapped right through and splintered, because it was still warm enough and supple enough, and you can see it's a clean break. Where it's been cooling off, it's kind of got that shattered look about it. So folks, that's what I'm trying to say. You can push wood for so long and so far. I should have left this as one complete item, and it would have been made a very good, nice hiking stick. I thought I could get that one little tweak in, but the outer parts of the stick were cooling down too much, and it obviously failed on me. So the lesson there is leave well alone when you're pretty much happy with it, or if you feel your piece of wood is cooling off too rapidly, get it back under heat. I didn't do that, and I lost this piece of wood. And like I said, I'm a little bit disappointed because this was a nice hiking stick, and I've already invested a year into, from when I harvested it, drying it, and now I'm investing a little bit of time and money by heating it, steaming it and working it. But for me, this one's no more. Right then guys, I'm going to call an end to this video. It was just to bring you along and show you the components or internals of a stick when it's fractured like that. Most people won't see it in that particular form. If they cut it or snap it, it just becomes a load of shattered fibres. But that was quite interesting. But yeah, lesson learnt there. And if you're going to start into the field or start thinking about bending wood to either put curves in or take it out, remember, you can only push wood so far, and it has to be a consistent temperature right the way through the wood. Mine started cooling off on the outer part, which led to a fracture, and on top of that, I should have left that piece of wood. Once I got it to that, you will kind of get to know when a piece of wood will fail or your luck is running out. I pushed mine. I've got to clean these, polish the tips like I said, and I've got to start getting some photographs and getting these on selling platforms. So I've really got to crack on guys. Sorry it's a short video, but take care, stay safe, and hope to see you guys on the trail.